Hey friends, it's Lindsay, and I just made a video and I thought I'm going to make another one. I am sitting here at the San Francisco airport, and I think this is a fantastic time to put more value out into the world. So I got an awesome question, and the question is about, is taking risks, like how does taking risks factor into working towards us make us happy? And are risks something we should always take, and is it appropriate for every age or every time in our life? Like, how does risking work? So first I want to debunk a couple myths. One is that there is no absolute, like yes, always, no, never, or only this age, or only in this area. There just isn't. And part of personal growth and navigating life is how to be in that gray area and discern what is best for you. So all of these tools and all of work you can do is so you're so clear about who you are and what matters to you that you can discern what is something worth risking for and when it's a good choice and when it's not a good choice. So discernment is so important. You can't just be on automatic. Which it would be lovely to just have a always yes, always no, but it doesn't work like that. And a second myth is that the word risk sometimes gets collapsed and merged with reckless, like being stupid, reckless, wasteful, like an unnecessary risk, something on the more like sloppy side. And that's not true. Like, risks are beautiful. It's I should look at the definition. It's stepping into the unknown, something that there is no predictable answer for. So something else, myth number 3, is that everything is a risk. Like, it is such an illusion that we think we control things, that we think we know the answer. Like if we talked about like, hey, what are my choices in my life right now? And we label the things that were a risk and the unknown, and then the things that we totally know how they'll go and can predict, we can't. We actually know nothing. Like I have no idea what's gonna happen today, tomorrow, in 5 minutes, 5 years, I don't know. And I think often we kind of avoid those thoughts because it's scary and it feels out of control. So we create some semblance of control by thinking we know how things will turn out. So speaking to the risks that, kind of fall in the category of things that we don't think we control, I'm going to talk about some reasons why risks are important. So I just learned that high performance people, one thing that is consistent between high performing people are that they consistently take actions into the unknown, consistently doing things that they really don't know the answer to. So it's not sometimes, it's not once in a while, it's part of their nature. So I think it's absolutely important that we start doing that in our lives at any point, not waiting for something scary to come along and then build our risk muscle or our step into the unknown muscle. Do it all the time. Be a person that has a belief about themselves that they're good at it, that they're capable of it, that it works for you. So you can do that about anything. And what else do I want to say? I want to say that stepping into the unknown, taking a risk, that is the only way to really build something new. If we already knew it, it wouldn't be a risk. If it was something already in my comfort zone, it wouldn't be growth. Like, those things don't go together. So seeing that, like, the whole point of building something new and stepping into a new level of happiness in life is that it forces you to confront those things in yourself, to tear down those walls or step through fears or acknowledge things that are scary or that you think limit you. The whole point is to move through those things, acknowledge them, make other choices, because in the process you expand. You expand to hold the goal. So it has to go hand in hand. The path you walk of expanding will match the expansion of the thing that you want, that you think will bring you fulfillment or happiness, that is also a risk or uncomfortable. I just heard, I just name dropped Tony Robbins on my last video. I'm going to do it again. I just heard Pitbull talk, and he was saying that he never knows what's going on. He's always just going for it, and that one of his mottos is we got to build the plane while we're flying it. So a fourth myth is that we think it's possible to actually have things mapped out, planned, that we know everything, that we can know the end before we even meet the beginning. And that is just so not true. We absolutely have to build the plane while we're flying it. Another way of saying this, which I've heard from Lisa Kelman, is silk thread jump. Like if you're parachuting out of a plane and you don't have a parachute on and you just have a bunch of thread and some needles, you're gonna sew really fast. So it's getting that I've got to be in motion and I'm gonna create it as I go. It's a constant flow. By being in it, I'll know what's required to fulfill the next step, and that's the only way I can know the next step and keep moving through it. So that also is a risk, because it's jumping into the unknown and trusting I can fulfill on whatever's needed. What else? I think that it's also really important to know who you are and what matters to you, because this whole question came from like taking risks towards what would bring happiness. So if you know who you are and you want to know who you are, you want to know what makes you happy, or you do know, any action around it's going to be great information. Like, wow, that really does fill me up. Or like, oh, this isn't as meaningful as I thought it would be. It's going to be great information about who you are and what matters. And if you know that it matters to you, why not? Why not take a risk? Like, apply for the job, go on the date, buy the plane ticket, make some new friends. Whatever it is, it can be risks. Can be anything. So my last myth is that a risk has to be big. That it has to be big and terrifying, like jumping off a cliff. And sometimes it is, or sometimes it feels like that no matter what's happening. But a risk can be anything. It could be just revealing, like, hey, this is my dream right now. It could just being honest and sharing yourself with the people around you. Being honest with your family about how you really feel, maybe who you really are. Having the courage to be yourself. Like, those are everyday choices in any interaction we can choose that still has us embracing being a person that can risk. So it can fall on any level of the spectrum. So if you are kind of looking at like, hey, why would I risk? How does that fit in with being happy? I would encourage you, if nothing else, to come back to like, who am I? And at the end of my life, what can I live with? Can I live with doing this and having it not work out? Can I live with not even trying? Which side of the fence am I willing to fall on that I can live with? Because we have one life. We have one life, one shot. Why not? Like, what's going to be so worth it to risk for? Find that, and of course, you'll never regret going for it. So I'm going to leave it at that, and just encourage you to be more excited about being curious about what's possible than about being attached to thinking that you already know and that it's just, you're right, this is what it is. So be excited, be curious, take some risks, and see what unfolds for you. Okay, that's it for now. Biggest. Bye.